What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the final game from the 13.5k Large Armies Polish tournament here. Zahar versus Bachus. The score, of course, is 2-2, and we have just one game remaining. So both sides are picking their best remaining factions. So we have two factions that have maybe pulled some surprising wins in the series so far. So Zahar will have Rome, which Bacchus used to defeat Zahar's Galatia, and Bacchus will have Getai, which Zahar used to defeat Bacchus is Boyat. So interesting that these two factions were underestimated, but now they come and they're the last chance for both sides to win the series in five. So we'll see. Would Well, I don't know who has the upper hand, what faction, so we'll really just have to see. So let's get right into it. It's kinda, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be very, very interesting to see what both go for here. No, not a lot of javelins. It would be one thing that I'd be interested to look at because auxiliary infantry, vigilants, spear warriors, heavy spears, armored spears, all that, no javelins. So cavalry will be a bit better, but then again, cavalry is also shit on both sides. Saki equites, spear horsemen, all that kind of jazz. We obviously don't see any Saki equites extraordinariae for Rome, but it's really going to come down to the effectiveness of the noble swords against the melee spam of Rome. And then also we're going to have the advantage of nice um, missiles for Rome versus the cheaper but not as good missiles for Nisha. Or forget it anyway. So let's look at Zahar's Roman build. He does have, looks like all Saki Equites here, so 4 Saki Equites. He has the Legatus General. His infantry spam is Legionary Cohort, Evocati Cohort, Legionary Cohort, Evocati, 4 Evocati, 3 Legionary Cohort. Not sure about Legionary Cohort. These are the ones that cost 700. Would prefer to see Principes here, actually, because of the high attack. But, it's very close between them. The Legionary Cohort have a bit better defense and armor, so can't really blame him for going for that. But anyway, the front line here is Vigile, 3 and 4 armored spears. Or, sorry, not armored spears, auxiliary infantry. Which will not really be great. Let's just check it out here, but they should suffer. Only 18 melee attack, 18, 25, 20 against heavy spears. 18, 25, 20, 23, 58, 65, 23, 58, 65. Wow, auxiliary infantry with that 75 armor though, 50, 45, 50, 45. Yeah, heavy spears should be much better, although the weapon damage only 22 on those heavy spears. Just want to get a quick look at this, just to see what we're looking at here. That's very poor, but it is 7 AP and 15 base, whereas the auxiliary infantry have a bit more damage, but less AP. So take your pick. Should be close. Heavy spears, the better unit though, and they have cavalry counter tactics, of course. There are also some missiles on the field. 2 Balearics, 2 Syrians. Oh no, 3 Balearics, 1 Syrian, and 2 Levies. Actually could be quite useful just to screen off these horse archers with the Vigiles. Now let's look at Bacchus's Getai force here. He does have 3 bow horse. Would like to see 4 though. Not sure why he's only gone for 3. They're such a useful unit. He does have 3 heavy bows up front with 2 Dacian bows here. So only 5 missiles. The 4 for Zahar, less numbers, but these 2 Dacian bows are so bad they'll just get focused down and pretty much instantly die. The melee force is the classic 4 axe warriors and 3 noble swords. Wouldn't expect anything else. 4 spear horse, which will have their hands full with the Saki Equites, although both are not really so great, so it's not a huge problem. But the 10 bonus versus large, pretty awful for the spear horse. But, maybe they can make up with some other stats. But it shouldn't really. A cav battle here is not the most important thing, I would say, since it's so weak and there's no shock cav on the field, and there's so much spear support. You don't have to really worry about it. But again, there are no javelins or less javelins, because the spears don't have any to weaken the cav. So, strong cav, always a possibility to be, important. The spear line here is a spear, heavy spear. Looks like 4 heavy spears here, or no, armored spear there. 3 heavy spears, 1 armored spear, and 2 spears. Wouldn't like to see this armored spear just become a heavy spear and go for spear warriors rather than spears, because spears are bad, but spear warriors are excellent for the cost, especially when you don't have to face any javelin units. They will be, in the enemy spear line, they'll be super tough to kill, because of that high armor, high defense for a 300 cost unit. Spears, for whatever they cost, are kind of trash. But anyway, that's the armies. So Bacchus just backing up a bit here, trying to give his spear horse some time, or his bow horse some time here. But they are wasting ammo on the Vigiles. It's not terrible, but you'd rather not shoot them down. There's not really any point shooting down Vigiles. But he's doing good damage to them. Even if he stops shooting now, at least he's killed 30, Vigiles, so that's pretty valuable, just in weakening that unit. But stop, go behind now. You can outrun, you can easily outrun a Vigile with your bow horse and go behind and get some real shots on infantry. The infantry war will be quite close because these three, noble swords are going to be unmatched, especially if they get into Evocati. We saw in the Boya Getai game that if these noble swords get into elite or mid-tier infantry like sword followers or Evocati, they can tear them up. And especially what's going to be important is the cav usage. You need to be getting the charges on the right units. Here, it's not so bad for Getai as it was in the Boya game that Zahar played Getai, because the cav force on the other side is not so strong. It was 4 heavy horse and a noble horse of Boya. What he needs to do is get good charges, I think, anywhere. Noble swords, but blocking, hitting an Avocati and following up with a Noble Sword will make it a very easy fight for the Noble Sword. But equivalently, hitting a Legionary Cohort with your Spear Horseman and following up with an Axe Warrior can make the Axe Warrior actually win against the Legionary Cohort potentially, or at least make that fight much more in your favor. And since there's not so many Javelins on the field, it's not such a bad problem. So he's going to focus fire here. Okay, well, Bacchus doing a smart thing, leaving his Dacian Bowman a bit further back so he can't really, they can't get targeted. But then again, with only 125 range, they also can't shoot. But he's saying, trying to focus my Dacian heavy bows down, I'll do some damage to your archers, and we'll call it even. And Zahar is just going to go up here and shoot down the Dacian heavy bows. He may as well, he has a lot of ammo on his Balearic Slingers, and they will kill the Dacian heavy bowman with focus fire without, wasting too much ammo. Already losing a couple of men to some rear shots there. Bacchus just focusing down the spear line a little bit. Not again, same with Zahar's Getai focusing down spear warriors. It's okay to do it a little bit, but you don't want to do it too much here. He's not taking heavy fire on his Dacian heavy bows, but he's taking losses and not doing any damage to the Balearics and the Syrians, wasting their ammo by killing the men. These levies and Vigiles are doing nicely. Easy charge here, but he's worried about the levy, so that's what the levy is doing here. Yeah, you can kill my Vigile, but I will get a couple of javelin volleys potentially on your cav. Might still do it anyway. Alright, engagement potentially coming up for us here. Now focusing the Dacian bows as well is fine. Yeah, kill them off as soon as you can. You can see the enemy heavy bows are so far back that these Dacian bows are an easy target. But he shouldn't focus fire, you should kill both of them because they're just going to get owned. Pushing on the flank here still, just causing problems. He has to watch the micro here so he doesn't get this spear horse javelin. But it is isolated. He can literally bait one javelin volley and run in because these guys don't fire enough shots per minute. 6 shots per minute is literally firing 1 every 10 seconds. Nice shots onto the cav here. This is exactly what he wants to do. It will be really important to get shots on noble swords and cav. Cav, just because if you get the cav advantage here, you're going to be able to kill the enemy infantry, or charge the enemy infantry and kill the enemy bows. Here goes the charge here, as we said, he'll take 1 javelin volley potentially. I just want to see if they get a second one. Okay, yeah, maybe they're getting 2. Or maybe it's just a half the unit fired earlier. Are they going to get anything else? This guy is like, I'm going to throw javelins. Doesn't really kill anything, but the HP damage, losing the levy here is pretty irrelevant. The HP damage is good. Nice charge here, but the support's a bit far. Maybe he can use the auxiliary infantry here to tie down this axe warrior so his cav can escape. But look, no javelins getting out there. Good focus fire from these archers onto cav though. Bacchus will kill this. Yeah, this is a good choice. Bacchus charged the levy. Nice decision though, not to countercharge, but instead to charge the noble sword. Get your legionary cohort in there. Ideally, it would be an Avocati, but you can see the Avocati is right here, close by. We'll just kill off this heavy spear and then get into the fight. You could even just pull it out and get it in here right now because none of these units got a charge. It would be very nice to get in there. Again, nice charge here, except that it was a bit far, the support, so he's going to lose a couple extra men. And Bacchus just says, yeah, okay, I'm going to pull the Axe Warrior back. But look, they got 11 kills on the Axe Warriors and some fire. So nicely done. This Axe Warrior is now very hard, going to be very hard to get anything out of it. This side of the fight not doing anything, but really nice shots here, and this is going to start to really hurt as soon as the HP gets depleted. Over here, going behind with this 2 Spear Horse. You could just, he's losing a Sakakute though. Just stayed in too long. Looks like formation attack is on, and it should definitely be off here. Noble Sword gonna retreat after losing only 3 men. Let the Axe Warrior take the brunt of this, potentially countercharge the Legionary Cohort here. Gotta get a nice rear charge as well, this Legionary Cohort. Not gonna enjoy that. Over here again, yeah, finally Bachus realizes, but he loses 30, 20 men here, which is nice. Chasing way too far though with this Epicati. This Epicati is gonna be exposed. He should just engage it and shoot it in the back, basically. He would like to get a cav charge in there first though. Or even just block the charge with the heavy spear and then engage the general. But anyway, he's not going to get a charge, so miss micro there. These Sakakute are dead, so kind of evening up the cav advantage that was gained by shooting this cav. But this Noble Sword is going to get a great fight here. Legionary Cohort in the rear, but you know, this Axe Warrior is covering and these Dacian bows are covering. Nice charge here from the Sakakutes. Maybe unnecessary though, because it doesn't have a Kadi. Gonna charge an Axe Warrior, but look how fast these guys die. The problem is exactly this though. Nice focusing fire here from Bachus, gonna kill off a lot of Equites. Was that charge necessary? Not really, because you know, Avocati is gonna own the Axe Warrior regardless. So losing 20 cav or more potentially with this fire coming in doesn't really seem worth it to me. However, another Spear Horseman off the field here from this Sake Equite counter charge. They did good damage to this cohort though, so that's kind of nice. But the cav force, 1 full unit here, and 1 pretty much full unit here for Zahar, but that's the only, no, in this unit here. So he has like 3, well 2 like pretty healthy units, 1 full unit. Zahar, or Bachus has 2 full units. I mean, this guy's pretty much full. And a kind of depleted unit. So the cav force is very even. There's also the general and bodyguard to worry about here, the legalis. Which can be very annoying, just sneaking in and killing archers. But of course, there's also 3 bow horse on the field here. These archers, I'd say, are in, you know, both archers are in good positions here to shoot things. I would think that shooting this guy in the flank would be a target, although there is an Avocati that can just come in here and clean up all of these units. That might be the play, is just to get this Avocati in on this flank, move maybe this 1 Balearic Slinger right here, and focus in this unit, in this Noble Sword in the back while retreating away this Legionary Cohort, because that'll expose the rear of these Noble Swords to your Avocati that's engaged here. This Legionary Cohort could stay in or even cycle around, and this Auxiliary Infantry can just start pushing back these guys. However, one big problem here is an Avocati is going to go down for pretty much for free. Not going to get anything out of it. And the Bow Horse are still very healthy here. Nothing been done to them. 1 Noble Sword not yet engaged. Also an Avocati and a Legionary Cohort here. So, you know, there's 3 units, 3 melee units not engaged here. There is also a spear battle going down here. As you can see, the armored spears are having a good time of that. So there's, you know, when this Avocati dies very soon, there'll be 4 units that are completely healthy and not engaged. However, he is going to get the much better engagement right here. And the other thing is that with this cav behind, there's an opportunity here to swoop in here and potentially kill some archers, because the only cav unit that's anywhere nearby is this unit. This guy is going to hold off this. You know, there are archers here. He's shooting the cav already. This cav can just go engage this guy. Do you want to risk the general? Here's the thing. But there's also this stock. That's what I would do, I think. So we've taken stock of the situation. A lot of free infantry here. How quickly can these units die? Does he do the right thing? Getting his Avocati in here, potentially getting the Balearic Slinger on the flank. You know, that would just help kill it faster. And also, do these archers die? I think that's the thing to look out for. We'll see about the engagements on this flank. You can see these spears dealt with a Vigile. They're a potential threat to just run behind and be annoying, but not a huge threat. Bow Horse, cav in the rear, also a problem potentially. So let's see how it goes after a long pause there. But again, yeah, look how many men this guy's losing just to get a charge on that Axe Warrior. So he decides to go for this though. So he's gonna attack these archers. He's gonna use this auxiliary infantry to push back some of these archers. But this this Sakakute just died because there's literally 5 archer units targeting it. So it looks like his plan. Okay, he's just gonna try to engage here to see if Bachus has the micro. He does though. And yeah, cav going behind. No way to protect these archers. The general here is, you know, pretty healthy, but there is an Avocati, a full Avocati coming for him. And he's going to have to just take this fight. We'll get a nice javelin volley on the Sakakutes though, and this means the cav advantage is pretty much going in the favor of Bachus. But again, not a good engagement here. Noble Sword going down, Axe Warrior going down. This is very nice for Zahar. But okay, only 2 archers gonna die for this. You can see this cav came in time to support. He needs to worry about this now. There's, this Sakakute should just retreat and defend against this guy. This unit is very low now as well, so the general could even kill it. But the cav comes around here and pretty much saves their bacon. But now, big mistake here. What is the Noble Sword doing? This could be huge. Because now this Sakakute is going to take the time to engage here, tie down the Noble Sword so the Avocado can get in. You can see that he doesn't even need to get a good charge. He just touches it. He should have maybe got a charge, but he touches it, the Noble Sword stops, and now the Avocado get in here. Now these guys are gonna go kill these archers because this cav is dealing with this unit here. And now there's 3 cav behind for Bachus. This is terrible for him. He needs to get after these archers though. If he can trade the archers off, it's gonna be okay. But there's a lot more support here. The general, an Avocado here, a couple of spear units, and these archers can just run forward into the enemy lines, which seems counterintuitive, but there's no cav here to actually stop them. This fight's gonna be good. There are spears trying to come. Don't think they'll be there in time. But now these archers should all just fall, and the general is going to be in a very poor situation here because all these archers, and you can see Zahar doing it now, are just looking to target this unit. In the back, the general will die. 88 men. He took so many losses from running away from this Avocado, which I think must have been a misclick or some kind of micro error. But I also think this is a huge problem. There's 3 cav out of the 4 behind. Now this Sakakute is going to get owned, but he should just go for these archers. Lose the unit but kill 2 archers is fine. Although they are heavy bows, so they might not actually die. So, Bacchus is doing a good enough job, I guess, of saving his archers here, which were in a very perilous spot. However, he's not doing a good job of saving his general, which may definitely be worse. The only thing he can do now is send this cav through this way, this cav, and just jump on the Syrians and the Balearics. He has to try to do that. Because there's no other way. If these guys live, if he's allowed to consolidate his forces, but Zahar here, kill the enemy general, maybe get this Avocado. You can see the Avocado already doing the right thing, running back to defend the archers with the spears. And these guys can turn and focus fire, especially these 2 units will not last easily against these focused archery fire. It really is up to this 60-man unit here to make an impact. Potentially even sacrificing the bow horse if the general goes to deal with the unit. Even sacrificing the bow horse here might have to be worth it. Although he's gonna save his archers. Probably here. I don't. Also, this might be a mismicro. He needs to go charge. But these guys are instantly dying, so he will save his archers. But again, the Balearics are just much more valuable here, and the 1 Syrian as well. And with this general already down to 80, if this general was at 100 or something, it was at 113, I believe, when it killed that previous Avocado. If it was at still that amount when it starts to engage another Avocado, yeah, it could probably lose because it, didn't have a great engagement, but it would last this against this fire for a bit longer, whereas now you can see quick reload activated. Zahar says this is the key to the battle. He's gonna lose this unit. There's still a bunch of bow horse. I think right now Bacchus needs to sell out for these slingers and archers. He's losing the infantry war here. He has a free Avocado here. He's gonna have a free legionary cohort, a free another Avocado here, another Avocado here. This was the one that engaged the general, I believe. We can try to see if we see any noble swordsman. Yeah, we do right there. So yeah, that was the unit that got engaged by the general. It didn't fully die. The general got 79 kills there, but now he's in big trouble. I think this is going to be a critical moment. He should just sell out. There's only 1 cav unit here. He needs to get 1 of his cav on the general, even if it will lose, just so his other cav could just attack these archers and rout them. But you can see, look at this wall being formed by Zahar against the enemy cav, and his cav is just all behind. It should be, some of them should be here and here, and that would seriously help. Also, this one small Sakakute did win with the help of these spears, so now they come down, they'll hunt down a couple archers here. They won't actually do anything more. Yeah, nice focus fire. But here comes the key. The general is just dead instantly. 1 volley from 4 units will do the damage, and a general recently died, so now it becomes much harder to actually collapse on these units because you have no morale. These spear horsemen are in. They need to start going for it. These guys are doing the right thing, but these guys are so far away. They're already tired as well, or winded anyway, but they will be tired soon. These bow horse can't actually take the charge from the general, so they have to wait. And now things are looking to collapse for Bacchus here. He does win this against this Avocado. Gonna get a charge. Gonna get a second charge. It's looking a bit better here. Bowhorse really won't do very much damage though. He's gonna get the general tied down by the best unit on the field for Bachus though. Looks like he's trying to run it away, which is the right decision. The Legatus didn't take any damage yet, so we will be able to get out. He's focusing the biggest unit, but he's got this wall of spears here. Tries to focus this unit. He'll rush his Balearics into melee here, but Bacchus just charges the spear unit. That doesn't make any sense. He's gonna get a nice rear charge into the archers, but now this is just a you know, escape city for the archers. They just have to run this way. There's a wall of spears here, and the morale will not be sufficient here to do anything. The other thing he needs to do is kill these Abacati, because he still does have some archers left. He has 3 archers. And these will be battle damage Balearics and Syrians, so they will take, you know, they won't have great time against full health Dacian heavy bows. So you can still do that. He still has his bow horse. Now the question is, do you commit too much with his bow horse? His bow horse should never have actually, you know, gotten charged. He still has 59 here, 55 here, so it's not terrible. He's only, yeah, he did lose a full bow horse somewhere though. These guys are routing, but he would really love to have a cab to finish these guys off. That's unfortunate. One Syrian, or that's a levy gonna go down. Balearic and Syrian still alive. These guys might come back as well. Bowhorse need to try to kill this unit though. He's gonna go for it. Nice micro there from Bacchus. It goes for the general. Oh, I don't know about that. These guys aren't gonna do anything to the general. Like, they're just too shit. Better to kill his Balearic, I think, honestly. But okay, he's gonna be able to just pick off these last infantry units. Charge from the Bowhorse, trying to get some damage on these Balearics, that's fine. If they have ammo though, it's not worth it though. They would still be super valuable here because you could just do an archer war against these guys, then use your Bowhorse in the late game. You know, you're gonna survive with 1 infantry unit here, the Noble Sword. You're gonna have these archers which are good in melee, but you know, you have a spear. But yeah, it doesn't look like it'll be quite enough. Heavy spear gonna do well here, but yeah, too many cheap infantry units or small infantry units are surviving here for Zahar. He managed to win this flank effectively, and then the general, I think the general loss was key because Bacchus was going to get a good fight over here. He's going to have a lot of men remaining, but he's in trouble now, I think, with only the Noble Sword alive, and these 3 archers never got collapsed on quite enough to lose them. You know, Zahar, the only big mistake he made was this absolute carnage of a Sake Kute that was going to be able to kill potentially 2 archers, but he got mismicroed and then everything died. General just going to fall back. The Legatus survived to keep the morale high. This guy is going to die for the cause and get focused down by 4 archer units. The archers surviving. I really think that the problem here was Bacchus had too many units behind. Going behind with, like, you know, you had the Bowhorse to go behind. Like 2 Bowhorse can go behind, you keep 1 Bowhorse with you, or you know, 2 Bowhorse with you, 1 Bowhorse behind, maybe 1 cav unit go behind, but 1, 2, 3 behind? I don't think so. That's too much behind, and it cost him because the pressure came forward and the archers escaped in a forward direction. There wasn't enough angles to collapse on the archers because everything was from behind except for the Bowhorse who were coming from the front. They were easily countered because the general was dead and the morale was quite low. And now we see the power of the archers in the late game, just finishing everything off. But the general dying, I think, was the key. Bacchus got some good early engagements. Zahar did as well on the flank. Bacchus in the center, and he killed an Avocati for free. On this flank, he had the advantage, but he lost too much cav and went behind, I think, a little too much, and Zahar punished him. So Zahar is the champion. Really close series, 3-2. All the games were pretty insane, actually. Going right down to the wire, and super close. Really like the format. I think you could see there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of tactics in it. There's a lot of unit diversity because of the 7 melee mechs and, you know, the power of the cheap archers. So you definitely want to bring them. The Bowhorse, all the unit types were still quite valuable. And since you have 30 units, right, you're going to see more spears. You're going to see more cav, more archers, more spears. And you know, you're still capped to 7 melee, so it's not like that is scaling appropriately. So you'll see a very different kind of meta. Pretty balanced, I thought. You know, still the barbarian factions, and I'm sure the eastern factions, although we didn't really get to see them, are still strong. But it's micro intensive with so many units and quite interesting. So really good game to both players. It was a very worthy final. Not too many glaring mistakes, I would say, in the whole series. And so just well played to both guys and really fun to watch and to commentate, obviously. But congrats to Zahar. He wins the tournament. Don't even know what it was called, but yeah, he wins. And well deserved. So good job. And thanks for watching the series. A long 5 battles, but epic 5 battles. So quite worth it, I would say. And hopefully there's more content to come. So, yep, thanks for watching. See you in the next one, and peace out.